It's that time again. October. Lumpy's Burgers in Antioch, California brings back a 12-minute burger eating contest every year. Several years back, Matt Stonie was the champion. Johnny Excel is twice runner-up. This contest has a very, very strong history in the competitive eating community. Antioch is probably not the first place that you'd expect to see a big burger eating contest with cash prizes around $1,000, trophies larger than some people. In fact, the first prize trophy this year and last was over 5 feet tall. But it's going to get people out there when you got those kind of prizes up. The food in this contest was actually pretty good. The food in the restaurant is even better. But obviously when you're running a contest, you're not going to be using, haute cuisine. You're going to be putting stuff out that people are going to be trying to shovel down as quickly as they can. This contest was staged under what you would call, dunking rules. You can take your food and mash it up, split it up, dip it in water, dip it in ketchup, dip it in anything. My strongest opposition or competition in this contest came from Kevin Ross, fellow competitive eater from Temecula, California. We've done tons of challenges and contests together. He's one of the guys that I kind of look up to as my mentor, kind of one of these guys who kind of coached me. When I was starting out, he was one of the few who kind of, looked at me as a guy who could, get far in this sport, if you will. So having him on stage there really, really pushed me. This was probably my best performance at an eating contest ever. That's what I would say. I defeated Kevin by a good margin, burger and a half, which was definitely not something I was expecting going in. I thought it would be a very close battle. I thought that he might beat me. So you can imagine that when it was all said and done and the final result tallied, I was in for a bit of a shock. At first, I wasn't sure if I should include the whole video or just little snippets, but the whole video is a little bit interesting because you can see towards the middle, I really start taking off and just, eating with power. Typically in the very beginning, I'm pretty damn slow, and that's most people's best chance to catch me. If you've seen some of the videos where I eat, a box of Twinkies or a box of Zingers, those times that I'm putting up are not, impossible to beat. And I have been beaten, in those little short games. But it's when things get closer to the long haul, and 12 minutes is considered a longer contest by competitive eating standards, and that's where I really start to shine. And the plans are set in motion for me to come next year to Lumpy's to the championship. It's going to be the 5th year that they're running the contest. And this is pretty much going to be the first time where I am going to be the defending champion at a contest. And, it's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of excitement. As you can see in the video, I dunked the hell out of those burgers. Each burger was at least 1/3 of a pound of meat, plus whatever, the bun is. Typically, hamburger buns are about 8 to a pound. And you can imagine that without water, I ate over 4 pounds of food in the 12 minutes. The major adrenaline rush during the contest. I was super excited going in. You don't see it, but I was actually pacing around behind the stage before we began. I was just really pumped for this one. Lumpy's only comes around once a year. We don't have too many big independent contests in California. So when one comes around, you kind of got to jump for it. And if you stick around, in the next couple days, I will actually have an insane video up showcasing what I went to eat about an hour and a half after this contest. Now, your average sane person would probably be happy with having eaten 4 pounds of hamburger and bun. But I decided to add a challenge that was somewhat local and was something that I was looking forward to doing for a while. But, you're going to have to stay tuned for that one. Let me know in the comments section what you think about watching an entire full-length contest. I think the funniest thing about this video is when the camera is focused on me, it looks like everyone around me is just, having a very casual lunch and, I'm just going to town, tearing it up. And the only other guy on the stage who really looks like he's making a hard effort is Kevin. Kevin was the second to the left at the end of the stage. Um, and for the most part, I mean, these guys were all out there to have a lot of fun, and it was just cool to hang out. And, we kind of tried to hide the fact that we're serious, competitive eaters. But, the guys kind of saw us, and they're like, you guys are pros? That's awesome. And afterwards, they're like, you guys ate, what, 8, 10 burgers? That's impressive. I mean, I'm just going to let this thing go run in its entirety. There's really not much more I can say about the whole contest. It was a lot of fun. I mean, this year was a little bit better in that second and third place actually got money prizes in addition to, huge trophies. First place got $1,000, second place $250, and third place got $100. One of the ways that I think this contest could be improved is if they had some of the maybe workers from Lumpy's or maybe some volunteers just hold up signs behind us, so the crowd can see where people are in terms of their burger counts. Kind of like you see at the big Nathan's hot dog eating contest where the girls are flipping those numbers so the crowd can see who's where. Because up there on stage, I mean, I knew that I was powering down and I was ahead of the field just kind of by glancing over during the contest, but I really had no idea, where I actually stood, mathematically. And who knows, there's always the chance that some guy down at the end of the stage is beating you. And the third place finisher, he actually ate 7 burgers. He was just 1.5 behind Kevin, and realistically, had Kevin slipped up a little bit, or that guy stepped up a little bit, Kevin could have got outplaced just because he didn't realize where he was at. It kind of reminds me of a situation a couple of years ago at a Nathan's hot dog qualifier where Damon Wells defeated Matt Stonie just because Stonie had no idea where Damon was in terms of the numbers. Of course, Damon is a hell of an eater in his own right, and he deserved to win. And he won that day, That's actually one of the few MLE contests that I've ever been involved in. I just kind of got involved in a whim. They had extra room, and I just kind of snuck in. I didn't do much damage there, didn't intend to, but it was just fun at the stage with those guys, Don't get that chance too often. Okay, enjoy the rest of the video, and stay tuned for the eating challenge video that I did after the Lumpy's contest.